So here's a few things that you can practice, like, very simply. So this is another terminology lesson called hit confirming. Hit confirming is basically what it sounds like. You're confirming whether or not something that you did actually hit the opponent. So if I have the opponent blocking looks like that, and a blue aura is around the attack. A blue circle appears, depending on the size of the attack. And they're in a blocking animation, either standing or crouching. But if they get hit, it looks like that, and there's a yellow spark that appears. There's all sorts of other visual information you can use in order to recognize that your attack is hit. The sound effect changes as well. Some people use audio to confirm, but you want to, see what you can do to react to an attack hitting. So there's a setting here on guard called random. It's the furthest setting, you can put it there, and so it's exactly what it sounds like. The opponent will randomly block or get hit by your attacks. So this is a good way to practice hit confirming. So when your attack hits, like so, you want to, with Mika in this situation, if you want to spend the meter, but you want to confirm it into this attack. This move is +8 on hit, and this move is 5 frames startup. Very fast for how far it reaches. One of the fastest in the game for how far it reaches. So, you want to practice doing this. And when you get the hit, just go into that move. Like so, and you can just keep practicing that over and over, and there's other situations you can do this as well. Here. So, for example, do light punch, medium punch. And if you get the hit, you go into the attack. Easy enough. And then you practice your, light sequences. So, because they're so fast, you need at least 2 of them in order to be able to react to it. So even if the first hit is blocked, but the second hit gets hit, it's not enough time to recognize it. You need to get those in a row, and that's where you have enough time to react that you got the hit, and then cancel into the attack to get the knockdown. So that's hit confirming in a nutshell. So when you do those guard sequences, like you do something like that, or that, or that, anything else, any of those sequences, you're looking for, the attack to land. Oops. So you do that sequence, that light punch, medium punch, and if the first light punch hits, you go into that string. And if the second light punch, it doesn't matter, but if that hits right there, that medium punch hits, you go into that. It's like I was talking about. So you put that whole string together, and then you practice both at the same time. So if the first lights hit, you go into this attack. If the medium hits, you go into this attack. And what's more, you also have counter hit. So if you land light punch, medium punch, that normally doesn't combo, but if you get a counter hit, it does combo by itself. Now, if you get a combo with the medium punch, you don't want to spend EX gauge. You don't want to spend EX meter if you don't have to. So if you get that light punch, medium punch as a counter hit, that means it's going to combo, and you can cancel the medium punch into that instead. So put guard on random and counter hit on random. Oops. Oops, I didn't mean to spend meter there, but yeah, that's the point. There we go. Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. So, you can do the sequence. Depending on what hits, and if it's a counter hit, you can confirm accurately. So, I'm not used to doing that because this isn't my character, obviously, so. But yeah, you know, like, keep practicing those sequences so that you accurately react to the things, you know, which hit that you're getting. And just do the appropriate attack. So that is hit confirming, and that's something that you can practice easily in a variety of situations. There's an advanced form of hit confirming that's not just a single attack like this. You have ages to do that. That's easy. However, there are harder hit confirms that require faster reaction speed or more focus of your reaction speed. So if I were to do this heavy punch, that requires much faster reaction speed than just doing this move into this. So that requires so much more, like, so much faster of a reaction speed, or of a reaction, I shouldn't say speed, but like of focus trying to react to it. Because you need to cancel it by itself into that hit. So not a lot of Mika players even do this. You don't see it very frequently, because it's hard to do. That's not to say that, like, good Mika players don't do things that are hard to do, but it just requires a lot of your focus in order to do it. Which is usually better spent, or a lot of Mika players feels better spent focusing on other things if they don't have to focus on, like, this. Oops. There we go. So, there's a special trick to reacting this quickly in the game. I'm not actually looking for these factors. I'm not looking for the yellow sparks that appear when you hit them. I'm not looking for his animation. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm not looking for the blue of the guard or any of that. What I'm actually doing is looking at his stun gauge right underneath his health bar. Because as you see, when he guards, nothing happens to it. Even the health bar changes even when he's blocking. Like, it's gold now, but if I do this, it turns all green, and, like, a bit of gray life is added to it each time. So there's still a change, even if he's guarding. However, nothing changes with his stun bar unless he gets hit. So I'm staring at the stun bar, because the instant that he gets hit, that stun bar goes up a chunk. And that's what I'm looking to react to. I'm staring at that. Is it on random? Okay. And as soon as I see that, I complete the action and do the thing that I'm buffering for. So that's what I'm reacting to, is this stun gauge. That's how you get those faster reactions for hit confirming. Other things you can practice just in general to start out with. Obviously, execution is a big thing. Being able to move freely, like going from regular like neutral state to backdashing if like the opponent suddenly moves forward, or being able to freely transition from anything to a forward dash or backdash is very useful. Being able to freely transition anything to a special move is useful. So the different special moves, you have quarter circles, you have half circles, stuff like that. But then you also want to practice those links. So you can combo medium punch into heavy punch, or medium punch, crouch, medium kick. There's various combos you can do with that. So yeah, practice links. The easier ones to do would be like practicing a basic combo, like jumping heavy punch or jumping whatever into medium punch, heavy peach. Can't fuck that up. But yeah, getting the timing for linking this attack into this attack, and then, as you practice that and get comfortable with that, doing things like, say, walking backwards. So go for a shimmy, like punch, walk backwards, heavy punch into peach. So getting used to executing things like that. Then you want to practice light links, because it's, the timing is much faster. So get used to something like that, because it's harder to go from a big heavy thing into a quarter circle motion than it is, or it's easier to do that than it is to go from a light to it. The light requires you to be faster in your input. As you can see on the left how fast I'm doing it. So yeah, the light, get comfortable doing like the heavies into it, then get comfortable doing like the mediums into it, and then, or mediums into each other, and then, get comfortable doing lights, standing and crouching lights into each other, or into special moves. So this is something that you can do to practice your regular, like, positioning and your movement. So record a few things using all 5 slots with, like, Ken or some other character. Where you, I usually do this with Ken, for example. So you have him do like this. Walk forwards for like a tiny bit. Maybe walk forwards, walk backwards. Maybe walk back and sit. Maybe keep walking backwards for a tiny bit, and then maybe heavy kick into blocking. So turn them all on. And then when stay in a range where you can react. Or be close enough that when you block the move, it is -4 on block. So you can whiff punish it with various long-range things. Medium kick normally does this, but when you hold forwards while doing medium kick with Mika, she glides forwards a little bit. So that's a good way to extend its range, and it's a really long-range attack because of that. So those are some of your longer-range attacks: forward medium kick and crouching heavy kick. You can also do that. Forward medium punch. Oops. Which you can combo off of. And it's important a lot of the things that you practice, it's important to practice it on both sides of the opponent, so that you get used to inputting it and looking at it from both directions. So this is another thing that you can do to add on to that. I know you only have 5 recording slots, but you can remove one of the walking cycle ones, and I added one of him jumping forwards and doing medium kick, just because it's the widest one and it's his cross-up button. Like so. So, with Mika, your anti-air would usually be crouching medium punch. You can also try forward heavy punch if you're spaced correctly, and if you do it early enough, which you can cancel into that to side switch. You can leave it by itself and then combo off of it with that. So yeah, usually you just anti-air with crouch medium punch. It's the easiest thing to do. Hers has always been really good. Her anti-air has always been very, very strong, especially since it resets the opponent right in front of you, which puts them in a very deadly position to get to fucking eat shit or get command throwed. And she has her anti-jump command grabs, which are not generally the best for anti-airing, but they have some useful properties, especially if you're really far away. And you do like the EX one. Can be very good. Also, if you're far out like this, even if you're on the same side as the opponent, sometimes you can anti-air just by sliding. A lot of characters have the ability to do this. Characters that have slides as they're crouching heavy kicks or something. Sometimes you can just, as you can see, like, just get underneath his jumping attack and just hit him on the way down as he lands into your slide. This is not super reliable all the time. It depends on which jumping attack the opponent does, but this is a useful tool to have for some situations. So yeah, those are your main anti-air moves, and if you're the opponent's jumping over you, you can like do a jump back medium punch. Or a neutral jump medium punch, and that lets you get the full target combo into heavy punch, which is in her command list. But anyways, yeah, so you add this jumping attack to that stuff that we were just doing. So you keep looking for the heavy kick, trying to whiff punish it, and when he jumps, you anti-air. So yeah, this is very important training to do, because it, like, you know, makes you, like, focus on, like, your mental stack, and not only trains, like, your active reactions, but also your passive reaction speed as well. You know, especially if you can sort of, like, zone out your brain while doing this. And make it so your body, like, instinctively reacts to, like, especially jump-ins. You want to be able to react to jump-ins even when it's not something you're paying attention to. And there we go. I didn't go for any throws or anything like that. I just, accurately reacted to things and hit confirm things. So yeah, very important to practice this and get like your body like instinctively just hitting that button, even just passively, even if it's just like in the corner of your brain. You're not really paying attention to like the air approach or something. Just hitting that button. But yeah, anti-airing is probably the most important thing to pick up at the start. Well, that and just defense. Like, you don't even have to be good at defense, you just have to get the basic concepts of defense down so that you're not, like, killing yourself when the opponent starts their offense on you. By trying to attack when it's their turn and they're just gonna sort of run you over. Because if the opponent just keeps swinging, then you can just keep hitting them. Like if the opponent just keeps getting up trying to attack. Then it's gonna go poorly for them. But yeah, other than that, anti-airing is probably the most important thing to pick up as a skill very quickly. Just reacting that, because even if you're jumping, so your jumping attacks, when you land them, they do huge damage. You get your best combos off of jumping attacks. It's the most damaging way to start something. But also, even if they block it, like I'm +9 there. It only appears for a brief glimpse, but yeah, I'm +8 there. Even here, like if I jump with a cross-up, I'm +3 here. That's awful. Like, you don't want to, like, even if you block the jumping attack, if you're not anti-airing it, they're super plus. Like, they're right in your face. You're giving them all of this opportunity to do this offense to you. Which sucks. So, yeah, most new players, or a lot of low-ranking players, don't really know how to approach without jumping. So you'll see either a lot of, in very low rankings, you'll see either a lot of jumping at you, or like doing the same long-ranged attack over and over. Like projectile characters will jump back and throw their projectiles. Everyone else will probably just be jumping at you because they don't know how to play, like, they don't know how to approach other than doing that. So most of what you'll see, yeah, jumping forwards and walking backwards and then doing, like, long-ranged attacks. So, but mostly jumping forward. So long as you can beat that, and, turn their offense, turn their jump into a mix-up of your own. Like a guess between grab or command grab or hit. Then you're doing pretty good. Also, you want to practice this. So if you'll put like record guard recovery. Put one as a throw. Put one just holding up on the controller. One holding forwards. And one backdashing. And I guess one attacking as well. So, create a situation where you're doing regular attack into throw, like light punch into throw. You already know how to beat them if they keep throw teching. If they keep teching your throw, easy enough to beat. You can do a lot of damage. But yeah, if he's doing like other things, like if he's jumping out of your, you know, if he's jumping out of your regular throw, you have to be ready to anti-air him every time he does that. If you're going for, because if you go for his command throw and he jumps, then you're in big trouble. So you have to make him afraid of jumping by going for regular throw and, you know, still punishing him if he neutral jumps. So if you're not ready to anti-air him every time he does this, that's bad. So go ahead and turn like all those things on. So where it's getting teched, it's landing, and he's jumping. And make sure you deal with all of those appropriately. Like so. If you're in this situation where the opponent is forward jumping, like maybe afraid of the command grab, but also wants to get out of the corner, so you'll see this a lot. If you go for a regular throw, there's a few ways you can deal with it. You can anti-air, just like that, like normal, but you're giving up the corner. Luckily, you have an anti-air. That switches sides. So go ahead and get used to inputting that as well. And that should also beat him even if he normal jumps. But that'll switch your side, so you don't want that. So go ahead and like make sure you're reacting to which one it is. Appropriately. You have other options as well if he does the forward jump. You can go for this target combo, jump after him, and do that if you react really fast. Which, at this exact spacing will put you... It depends on the character and how floaty their jump is, but this usually puts you on the same side. Or you can do this. Crouching heavy punch, and you'll hit them if they've jumped over you. But yeah, that's usually a better option. So yeah, all of those things are fine. Even if you anti-air him like this when he jumps out of the corner is fine, because you have great ways of putting him back in the corner. Like this command throw. You can side switch him like that. And lastly, but hardest to react to, out of all of the options the opponent might go for in the corner, if they backdash, which will beat your command throw. As you can see, it's whiffing, because backdash is airborne. But if you do a normal throw, he's actually fine. He's actually kind of safe from this if you do light punch into throw. But it is still your turn. As you can see, it's calculating the frames, and Mika is +2 in this situation. If you go for light punch throw and he backdashes, Mika is +2. Which means you can just go for another throw, because you're in the exact same situation you were when you did light punch. So if you want to, you can go for an attack. You can go for another throw. You can go for a command throw. Most people will probably go for another throw. Like, as soon as they see that the backdashes occurs, they'll probably hit throw again. That is most likely what's going to happen, because usually when you're next to the opponent, like, this doesn't happen. You know, the opponents don't stand or sit next to each other very often or for very long, because at any point, you know, one might hit throw. So if you're in a situation like this, even if you, the opponent is probably hitting throw, because when the opponent gets close to you, this is just endemic to the game, if the opponent's getting close to you, they're in throw range, and it means you have to hit throw in order to break their throw. You can't react to it, you have to assume that they're throwing. So, that's why you never see characters, like, being next to each other for a long time, because even if one isn't intending on throwing the opponent, the other might think they are, and hit throw to break the throw, to tech what they assume is going to come. So this can happen, sometimes, is you'll, like, do some offense, for example. So let me show you what happens if the opponent, say, does a wake-up. Is this uppercut? Yeah, okay. So say the opponent does that when they get up, which is an invincible attack. So I go for, like, a throw or something, and I get hit. Say I block, well, now I get a big punish. So that's good for me. However, what if I just sat there blocking? So what if I knock him down and he expects that I'll throw? He's going to try to break it, like this. So he'll hit throw, and it'll tech the throw that I'm going for. But if I sit there waiting for him, he's going to be crouch blocking, and then doing the late tech, the block the move, and then tech the throw as late as possible, thing that I've been talking about. So he's probably going to be doing that. Which means that if I just sit there blocking, waiting for his invincible move, his just defensive action, like, his defensive throw tech will become a throw, and I'll get thrown into the corner, which is horrible for me, right? So I don't want that to happen. So usually, if you're baiting out the opponent, if you're expecting, like, a wake-up uppercut, for example, one thing you can do is just walk backwards, out of throw range, which serves to block the DP, like that, and also shimmy the throw, which you can react to. So you can see that, and I'm blocking it, blocking it, blocking it. And go for the shimmy. So when I see that he whiffed the throw, I can go for that. Or something else. But anyways, that's the point. So I can also sit there at the same spot and do a delayed throw. So I'm blocking his crazy uppercut. Here, and do it a little later. There we go. Oops, too late. But anyways, that's the point, where you can do a delay where you block the uppercut, but you still throw the opponent. Which, if they do nothing, you throw them. If they try to tech the throw, you both tech, so you both break. And if he goes for an uppercut on his wake up, you block it. So you have, you know, these various other things that you can do. But anyways, yeah, that's why you won't be, like, if your opponent tries to backdash, right? And it's still your turn, you're still +2 after he backdashes. That's why you'll probably, like most people in this situation, on either side, like both the Mika player and the Ken player, would probably just be mashing throw at that point, because they're expecting the other person to be mashing throw, and they want to break it. So that's generally what happens in that situation. Like you're thinking, like, oh god, like he's just backdash, he's gonna try to throw me back in the corner, let me break the throw, and that's exactly what he's thinking too. So you both kind of end up just hitting a bunch of, like, mashing throw in this situation. That's usually what happens. But if you react to it quickly enough, it is technically your turn. So you can go for an attack instead. Or a command throw. So that is also something that you can practice. Have the opponent do all these different guard recovery reactions. So yeah, all those options together. I don't think he's backdashing right now, but anyways, all those options together, you can react accordingly to if he jumps and which direction he's jumping, so that you can you know, do this situation but not lose your advantage. Because the benefit to a grappler or a character with these big, heavy, like, useful command throws. The benefit to using their regular throws, one, is it's much less risky than the command throw, because the command throw whiffs for longer. But that's the great thing about it, is that they're going to be scared of your command throw, so they're going to be, like, trying to jump out of it. Expecting your command throw like that. So they'll be trying to jump and backdash, which means that if you keep using your normal throw, you absolutely need to be anti-airing them when they jump out of your normal throw. Otherwise you're not gaining an advantage. You know? Otherwise, they have no reason to be scared of doing that. You know? So, going for mix-ups without committing all the way to a command throw, like that. So going for regular throw is important for conditioning them that you're going to punish them every time they try to jump out. And if you're in the corner, you can actually, and they jump like this, you can actually get an even deadlier situation when you anti-air them if they jump up like this. You can walk, you can just hold forwards, and you'll walk underneath them. Which means that your next attack, they have to guess if you're going to be on this side, or if you're going to be on this side, and which direction to block. So, if they guess wrong, they get hit, and you get a bucket of damage. So, for example, same side, this is how much damage you're netting, versus the exact same damage on the other side. So, really deadly situation, especially if, even if they block it, like that, or that, even if they block it, you're not in a horrible situation as Mika, because you can see that they blocked it, and then go for something else, like a command throw. The one that side switches. Oh, and another anti-air that is very useful for Mika that I forgot to talk about, crouching medium kick. It's for, like, further out jumps. So if the opponent does, like, something like that, you can anti-air them at a range where, so, especially if the opponent's just regular jumping like this. If I'm over here, you know, I don't know if he's going to fall down with that or that. So here, watch what happens if I walk forward and try to anti-air with this crouching medium punch, but I'm not close enough. Oh, oops. So that happens. So you don't want to be whiffing anti-airs that won't reach the opponent. So better move to do in this situation, crouching medium kick, which hits a little bit further. And is much safer to use in situations as opposed to just betting that they'll stick at a button and using that. So, when it's further out or like a neutral jump like this, better to anti-air with crouching medium kick. Or this. So those are all things that you can like set up in your training mode and practice to work on those skills.